But let me ask you something. Do you really know what college coaches are looking for? It's more than just a high batting average, throwing gas on the mound. I mean, did you know that less than 7% of high school players go on to play in college? Well, today I'm breaking down everything you need to know to stand out in the recruiting process, whether you're a player, a parent, a coach. Stick around. This video is packed with insights that you cannot afford to miss. So let's dive in. So let's start with physical skills the coaches prioritize. Let's start with the obvious. Your physical skills. Baseball is a game of numbers, and coaches love measurable performance. But it's not just about hitting home runs or throwing hard. Here's what they're looking for. For hitters, exit velocity is a big one. Coaches want to see hard contact and the ability to drive the ball, but it's not just power. It's consistency, it's your approach. This all matters when you're a hitter. Can you adjust to different pitchers? Right? Can you move different, hit different locations? Can you drive the ball the other way? Do you have good plate discipline? A competitive exit velocity for most college levels is 90 plus. So know your numbers and get your metrics measured at a showcase or a camp if you don't know them. Pitching. If you're a pitcher, velocity catches attention, but that's an obvious one. But it's not the only thing that coaches look for. Do you have the ability to locate pitches? Do you have good spin rate? How are your mechanics when you're under pressure, when there's guys on second, guys on first? And do not underestimate the importance of having a secondary pitches. If you have more secondary pitches and they're good, like a nasty slider or a deceptive changeup, a fastball velocity in the mid 80s or higher is competitive for most programs, but command and pitchability can be the make or break for you. For fielders, whether you're infielder, outfielder, or a catcher, smooth hands and strong arm are key components. Coaches value players who can play multiple positions. Versatility might be the difference between you getting recruited or passed over. For example, if you can play both shortstop and third base at a high level, you're offering more value to the team. Speed. Obviously, we know the 60-yard dash time is the standard test, but speed isn't just about a straight line running. Coaches want to look at your base running instincts, your first step quickness. Can you steal bases? Can you track down balls in the gap? A competitive 60-yard dash is around 6.8 seconds or faster for position players. Obviously, if you're a catcher, it's a little bit higher. But having speed is a complete game changer. Now, let's talk more about not just physical, but the mental and emotional traits. Skills can get you noticed, but your mental and emotional makeup is what will keep you on the coach's radar. Let's talk about what really matters in this area. Coachability. Are you willing to listen, learn, and adapt? A coachable player is worth their weight in gold, trust me. If you're resistant for feedback, that's a huge red flag. Here's an example. A player who takes advice on adjusting their swing mid-game and applies it effectively will stand out. If you just disregard everything a coach says and you think that your way is the best way, it's not a good look for college coaches. Second thing is work ethic. Coaches watch how you work during warm-ups, drills, even downtime. Do you hustle or do you coast? Trust me, they're always watching. A player who consistently gives 100% effort, even during routine drills, sends a message about their commitment. Competitiveness. Do you have that fire? Do you want to be there? Coaches love players who want the ball in big moments, whether it's a key at bat, a high pressure pitch. Showing grit late in games and tough situations, that can leave a good impression. Composure. How do you handle failure? Baseball is a game of failure, and how you bounce back is just as important as is to how you perform when things are going well. For instance, a player who strikes out but then makes a great defensive play in the next inning shows great resilience. Attitude. Body language matters. If you're sulking after a strikeout or showing up your teammates, coaches will notice. You want to bring a positive energy to the game. A great attitude can make you a leader on and off the field. Academic requirements. Now let's talk about academics. A lot of players overlook this, but it's a big deal. GPA and test scores. If you don't meet NCAA or school specific eligibility requirements, you're out. Gone. Okay? Most programs look for a GPA of at least 2.0 or higher. This gives you more options and shows your discipline. Time management. Balancing school and sports is a non-negotiable in college. Coaches need to know how you can handle both. One tip, start practicing time management now by using planners or apps to balance homework, training, and games. From a coach's perspective, a strong academic record shows discipline, and that's a trait every coach values. If you can't stay eligible, you can't play, and coaches need players that they can rely on. Off the field behavior. Coaches aren't just recruiting athletes, they're recruiting people. Here's what they're looking for off the field. Social media presence. Your social media is basically your resume. If you're posting inappropriate content or bad-mouthing teammates, coaches will move on. On the flip side, posting training clips, game highlights, or volunteering work can leave a positive impression for these coaches. Character and leadership. How do you treat your teammates? Are you the guy people look to in tough moments? Leadership can set you apart. For example, being vocal in the dugout or helping younger teammates develop shows maturity. Community involvement. Volunteering. Giving back shows maturity. Coaches love to see players who are leaders in their communities, not just on the field. For instance, organizing a youth baseball clinic or participating in a local charity event can make you stand out. So how do you stand out? So how do you stand out from the thousands of players trying to get recruited? Showcase metrics and game performance. Both matter. Metrics get you noticed, but coaches also want to see how you perform in real games. For example, consistently hitting in the clutch situations or consistently getting balls on the barrel. It shows that you're a gamer. You're a good player in the game. You got to reach out to coaches. Craft personal and professional emails. Introduce yourself, include your stats, your highlight reels. Tell them why you're interested in their program. You want to have a strong greeting, mention your name, the high school, position, key stats, and explain why you like their program, and a thank you and your contact info. Highlight reel. Keep it short and impactful. Show your best plays and don't waste time with all the nonsense. Make sure the first 30 seconds grab their attention. Now let's talk about the common mistakes to avoid. Here are some of the most common mistakes that could hurt your chances of getting recruited. Poor body language, focusing on personal stats instead of being a team player, ignoring academics or dismissing smaller schools that might be a great fit, failing to follow up with coaches after initial contact. Those are some examples, or those are some things that can hurt you. So here are some real examples and some stories. So let me share a quick story. I once worked with a player who wasn't the most talented on his team, but he hustled every single day, had great grades, showed incredible leadership, and he ended up getting recruited over players with better stats and, honestly, better talent. This is because coaches saw his potential. Another example, a player who went unnoticed until he sent a professional email and followed up with game footage, which earned him a visit from a coach. Remember, recruiting is about the whole package, not just your numbers. Now that you know what coaches are looking for, it's time to evaluate yourself. What areas can you improve on? If you need help, check out our training programs, our recruiting services, and you could also download our free 3-step recruiting guide under this video. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and drop your questions in the comments. I'd love to help out. The recruiting process, it can feel overwhelming, but here's the good news. By focusing on what matters, you can control your destiny. Remember, it's not just about how good you are now, but it's about how good you can become. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you at the next video.